Yes, correct. But hey guys, sorry for the delay. Very sorry for the delay. We were having some connectivity issues. We're good to go now. Hi Shilpa. Please send me the request. I'm trying to pin this comment of our subject. It's not happening. Well, never mind. Let's begin the chat. Shilpa, do you want to just send me the request? Hey Rohin. What's up? Shilpa's not. Shilpa, do you want to send me the request for adding you to the chat? I'm having some really bad connectivity issues today. Hello, 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 hello. Sure. Sorry, we're just waiting for Shilpa to join. She's on the chat, but she hasn't joined the chat, so I don't know why yet. Just waiting for her to get on. Shilpa, you need to send me a request. She's interested. Of course she is. I don't know why she's not able to. I don't know why she's not able to join the chat. Yeah. Not received. Just. I don't know why we are having connectivity issues today. Sorry, guys. Just gonna wait. Don't have it, Shilpa. Just send it again.
Go live with.
Add you, Shilpa. Thank you, Rohin. Just there. Finally, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for the delay. I have some major connectivity issues today. So I'm sorry. But we can begin.
No problem.
Can you hear me well enough?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Not very great. Your audio is a little unclear. If you can just turn up your audio a little bit. So I'm going to do a quick introduction. Shilpa is a food expert, chef. I see that. She has been running Cake Line for 26 years now.
Yes.
She's also a very dear friend, and most importantly, everyone I know in my family and friend circle is a huge fan of her brownies and cakes. And all our birthdays and all our special occasions, Shilpa is the one we go to. So Shilpa, welcome to our chat. Yeah, I know.
Hi everyone.
And I also have to add that she has tried really hard to get to teach me to really learn some baking, and all I have done is go and pass out in the other room. So I think those were some fun times. Now I miss them, unfortunately, and I wish I'd actually learned something from you. But as everyone knows, it's not my thing. So
you're one of my good students, I would say. But
yeah,
Sony takes the
cake. He takes the cake, literally, no?
Yeah, I love
her. Sony and Purvi take the cake, and I'm the one who's just like loitering around, dabbling around. But I do good decorations. Let's be honest.
we can't do anything without your added touch, your finale.
Yeah, and my drama.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so today's subject. So welcome to Decoding Life with Aanchal Shilpa, and today's subject, as we're going to talk about, is basically the business of baking. And it's been very interesting to see how, of course, in this lockdown, in this last 4-5 months, a lot of people have gone back to basics of cooking and baking at home. And I know at some point even I attempted it. I tried to pull out your old recipes and try to make some brownies. And I know that a few of my friends children, you know, kids have been baking at home, and they've actually even started businesses, which is really cute because, you know, they keep sending these messages and that, you know, please try our cakes and brownies or whatever. So I thought it was a very interesting subject to attend to because you're a veteran in this business, and the whole subject today is around, please give us guidance as to how you know, people who are starting off fresh in this environment can actually build up their businesses for baking. So first and foremost, there's Sony. Shilpa has just finished praising you and saying what a fantastic student of hers you were, unlike me.
Absolutely.
So Shilpa, tell us first and foremost, let's start with the basics. Training. What kind
Yes.
of training do you need to be able to start a baking business?
You need to obviously know how to bake or cook
Yeah,
and enjoy
yeah,
it. And since baking is a little different from cooking, there is a scientific aspect to it. You need to be precise. There are techniques which a pastry chef has to master. Either you can be
yeah.
self-taught. I mean, if these are young girls who are, you know, in today's situation at home and they've started these little businesses or startups, which is very cute, I think, you know, investing their
Yeah.
time in a good way right now.
Constructively. Yeah.
Yes. So you can easily tutor yourself right now with online classes and sessions. There's amazing tutorials on YouTube everywhere. So that's one way to go about it. And if you're really serious and you want to pursue it further, then I would
Then
say
you can
you
maybe
should
study.
get some academic recognition or, you know, go to a good institute. We have some fabulous institutes right now in India too. And of course, there are just solid pastry schools also, which weren't there at the time when I was,
Like,
you know, I'm
yeah.
an alumni of the Sophia Polytech Mumbai. In Mumbai, at
Okay.
that time, we had only Dadar Catering and Sophia Polytechnic, which was very
Correct.
reputed for its baking.
Correct. And the baking program at Sophia's is actually very, very well known
Yes, yes.
and has a long waiting as well. I remember there was a point
Schools,
when I had attempted to sign up for that course, and you know, there was a long waiting for that program.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
They still have a short-term course also for
Okay.
home bakers and housewives. But if you're
Okay.
really serious, then I would say go join an academy. There are lots in India. There's, you know, IHM in Aurangabad. There is Avon. Then we
Give
have
us
the
the name of the
European
field.
Pastry School. And we don't have cordon bleu here, but there are lots
Yeah.
of other interesting, and there are equal amount of you know, specialist baking tutors, even someone like me, you
Right.
know, who do
Right.
personalized tutorials and teach. So these are the various platforms. But what I would
Yeah.
say, Anshul, in spite of getting, if you want to pursue it further and you want to be a certified chef, then you need to go to an academy. Only then you can call
Right.
yourself a chef. You can't call yourself a chef if you're not trained in an institute.
Correct.
Wherever you go and learn, practice and rehearse and implement it. That's the key. In any field, that's very important. Whatever you learn, you practice it and implement it, try it out and master it
Yeah.
and take it to
And
another
also to
level.
be able to get, yeah, and also to be able to get that consistency, right? Like to be able to nail it each time, every time, for it to be exactly the same
Right.
consistency, flavor, you know, all of those. So I guess that's also very crucial, right?
Yes.
So tell me that, okay, assuming that a lot of, you know, at this stage, a lot of people have actually just are self-taught right now because learning from academies right now is not an option. And of course, like you rightly said, that eventually you should get yourself trained from a proper school because, of course, there are things that you learn in formal training that you don't otherwise learn on the job.
Right. Absolutely.
Now, how does it work in terms of equipment? What is the kind of equipment investment that is required for a home baking business? And do you really need fancy equipment? Do you need expensive ovens? What would be an average investment base for a business like this?
You can start out by a basic investment of the oven is the heart of baking, you know. So you
Okay.
need to have a good oven. You
Yeah.
can get an OTG. OTG start from 5,000, but a good one would be
Right.
around 7, 8, 10,000. Depending on the size, how much you want to bake, you'll buy an oven. So I would say around
Yeah.
anything between 15 to 20,000 is good enough to invest with an oven, some basic tools, equipments, molds, etc. Maybe a kind of a hand blender, or if you want, you can get a tabletop mixer if you really like. That's very handy. So then you could up your investment to about 50K, because those are a
Okay.
little expensive. But the basic would be anything between I would say 10 to 15. You can easily start out with a home baking menu.
With a regular oven OTG, you're saying is good enough
Yes,
to begin with for the time
yes,
being.
yes. An
Okay,
OTG
and
is
what are
very
the other
solid.
must-haves and basics in your kitchen apart from the oven and the OTG? What if someone were to just make a list of all the things that they feel that they should get and have? Your basic
So
ingredients that must always be in your kitchen for a.
ingredients, of course, there's flour, there's different kinds of sugar, castor sugar, brown sugar, baking soda, chocolate, then add chocolate chips. If you're making brownies and walnuts, nuts, if you're doing healthy baking, some seeds, some gluten-free flours. Really depends on the kind of menu. Fruits,
Right.
different fillings. But
By fillings, you
the
mean?
basic baking package, I would say, would be flour, sugar, butter, or some oil, and your aerating ingredients. That's baking soda, baking powder, chocolate. That's good enough to start.
Okay, and where, so if if you're looking at an average Indian family, or say even in a city like Bombay, where is a decent place to get your ingredients? What are the decent basic companies that you're covered with in terms of ingredients that you should, you know, below which you shouldn't go? Let's just say quality wise.
Ingredients are available on Amazon. They are available on
Okay.
bakery stores, then Baker's Cart. There are online portals who are also doing home delivery. There are distributors also who do. There's Arif, then there's
Arif,
Bakersville,
yes,
which is
yes.
a good. There's a Bakersville. It's a good brand. They also have a huge range in baking supplies. Uh, Anybody who wants more detail can always DM me on my page, and I'll forward them the details and lists of the
Right.
distributors, etc.
Right, right, right. And in terms of recipes, like what are the basics that you should, again, what would be like a decent number of recipes to have on your profile at any point of time? Can you just start out with one or two special ones, or,
I
um,
think it's good to have a niche if you're stepping out, because baking also has spread a lot. A lot of
yes.
people are baking, young girls, you have architects who've switched over, engineers who
Yeah,
become bakers, or cake decorators and artists. It's a very creative and satisfying field. And
yeah,
women can express their creativity very well. Of course, it requires a lot of dedication and hard work, but the rewards are very challenging. You get immediate gratification from your customer, which is really,
correct.
really very, very appealing. So
Yeah,
you could just start out by creating a small menu, or go into a niche. Um, you see what are the kind of bakers around your area. So I would
yeah,
say try to be a little different. If I know,
yeah,
say, I'm in a building and I have in the neighboring building, you usually come to know who is baking and who is
yeah,
doing custom baking. So you will know that this person is known for this particular product. So I would say
yeah,
you should have one product which is your standout selling point, which is your
correct,
talking point, your
correct,
Insta worthy images from it, things which people
correct.
will say, Achal makes this. She's known for
Very
this.
brilliant.
So you should
Yeah,
have one. Whether if you're starting out with brownies, you could do healthy brownies. You could do brownies with jaggery, uh, gluten-free baking, and even vegan baking is very, very
yeah,
popular and trending. Really
yeah,
depends. But I would say take a small menu and have one highlight item in that menu and stick to
yeah.
that to establish your brand, and then you can slowly add on more. And if
Mm.
someone approaches you for cookies and you know how to make cookies, you can anyway make it and take that
Understood.
particular order.
Understood. So like you said, all this gluten-free, vegan, healthy cakes have also become a huge trend these days, and people are actually even substituting it on special occasions.
Yes.
So what is your opinion on this as someone who's been traditionally baking for so many years? Are you also doing like a lot of vegan or healthy free stuff, or are you sticking to your original recipes? And how does that affect in terms of the flavor, the I'm not about frosting and icing, we'll come to that, but I'm just saying in terms of what do you feel about all of this healthy baking
I
that's been happening?
I think it's fantastic because
Yeah,
we have a lot of diabetics in our country. We have elderly
correct.
people who deprive themselves and they can't really eat these kind of delicious
Yeah,
treats. So if you have an option, then there are people who have gluten allergies and
yeah,
people are
and weight
following
consciousness
veganism.
also.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
healthy reasons. Then keto is also very popular. So keto
keto, yeah,
diet, there are lots of people who are very conscious about their weight gain. They want high
yeah,
protein or keto products.
yeah.
That's also trending, and people know how to make it. See, Achal, what happens is first when a new trend comes, people are not aware about it. They don't know how to
Understand.
create it. Once the
Correct.
magic of creating it, the product is there, then it filters down to the masses, and that's how a change in pattern eating lifestyle happens. So that's what I would also say, that I too have a gluten-free range. I have vegan cakes. If people approach me, I definitely make it. Of course, my signature standout items are popular and they're
Right.
rolling out regularly, but we do add these to our menu, like whole wheat and whole grain. Then I've also got tea cakes made with ghee. So different things are
Wow.
added regularly to upgrade
So,
yourself.
so tell me, as a layperson, for someone who's who doesn't really know the tricks of baking, these healthy ingredients that you use, is it really like a healthy diet, or is it also like a lot of other sugar and other ingredients that are adding to the calories and saving out on a few of them?
No, so there are all types of people. You will get people who are doing natural products. They'll write. They'll probably be telling you also that they use jaggery or they use a sugar replacement.
They may
They
not.
use less fat. You will come to know. Of course, those
Yeah,
products, I would say, a healthy baked product will be a
yeah,
little different from a regular brownie or a gooey cake,
yeah,
definitely, but it'll
yeah,
be tasty. And I
yeah.
personally don't mind eating it when I'm following my diet and I
Correct,
want to have something. I don't mind something made with natural dates or a date bar, a granola bar made with dates
correct.
instead of,
Yeah,
refined sugar. So there is a
yeah.
little compromise in taste, but a good baker will have a delicious menu and product. So you do get those offers. What you need to do is network and speak to the baker and also ask them what are the ingredients here they
What are the
use.
ingredients you're using? Right, right,
Even
right.
when you buy
So,
something from outside, you need to see what are the
who
ingredients
was there?
listed. Does it have refined sugar, corn syrup, dextrose? Then that's no sugar. So you need to
Yeah,
be a little
yeah,
aware and then choose and
yeah.
select what you're buying.
So we have one question before we move ahead. Isn't keto diet dangerous in the long run? It's pressure on the liver. I don't know if you are able to take this, Shilpa. It's a generic health question and a diet question. But I don't know if you're
Tell me.
qualified to. It says, if is keto unhealthy in the long run because it puts a strain on the liver.
So, I'm not a qualified doctor to
Yeah,
answer
exactly.
this, but one
Yeah,
policy I follow in my life is whatever you do, do it in moderation. What happens
right.
is we tend to binge out. If we'll go on keto, if you want to have Diet Coke, or if you want to see a movie and eat
Don't overdo
popcorn,
it.
we will binge, go on a binge. You need to
Yeah.
balance. Everything in life
Yeah.
is about balance. So do everything in moderation. If you're doing
Yeah.
keto, have it partly to as part of your meal, but just going on a keto diet, there are repercussions. We have heard of
In the
problems
long
in
run,
the liver, etc. And again, Achal, everyone's body system is different. What
it's
suits me
different. Yeah.
may not suit you. So a keto
Yeah.
diet may really work for me. I would say if you want to do keto in your particular, I would you pick up keto desserts because that's where the calories are coming. So you get something good and your regular meal you could have a bit of carbs or
Yeah.
fruits or
Yeah.
natural carbs
I was
added.
actually just coming to that, that even if you're not on a sustained keto diet, you can
Yeah.
actually do keto desserts, because that is
Yes.
actually a much healthier substitute
Yeah.
than a regular
Right.
dessert. Whereas
Right.
an entire diet of keto, that is, I think, something only a nutritionist will
Yes.
probably be able to answer. But in
Yes.
this, you're quite right that if you're reaching out for a dessert, it's always safer to reach out for a keto dessert, a sugar-free or gluten-free dessert or whatever. Okay,
True.
so also, really, really big and trending these days is all this icing and, this cake decor. I don't know what the term is in the industry, but all this cake decor. And what kind of training do you need to get there? How important is it in this whole scheme of setting up your baking business? And thirdly, most importantly, what in my experience, people who make these really beautiful cakes, the cakes are not necessarily very nice to have. Whereas whereas the flavor of the cake, you shouldn't ideally lose the identity and the
Yes.
flavor of the cake, but they look beautiful, but they taste awful. Let's just
Yeah.
say.
True.
So what is your opinion on all of this?
So cake art has really grown and evolved. Again, I had started out when I was baking. I can talk about all this very proudly is because I've been part of that journey, right? From say A till
Yeah.
Z, I have been seen that growth. I used to make my own fondant. Then we started getting ready-made good fondant. Fondant is the sugar dough which we cover cakes with.
Yeah.
So I have seen, if I've been baking since
I know
last
we've seen.
25 years,
Yeah.
yeah. So I've
Yeah.
seen the whole journey of the
Yeah.
whole baking scenario in our country and even in the world because I'm an avid follower of what trends are there
Yeah.
and I'd say again if you want to just have baking as a safe hobby or a business where you can make non-perishables and keep them, then you could do brownies, cookies, and all. If you really have that creative passion and you like the whole art of cake making and you feel that that is your, your calling, then you should train yourself in cake art. That is very vast. You have people who are teaching you how to make body sculpted cakes.
Yeah.
You have people who are doing flowers, fondant cakes, hanging
Yeah.
cakes,
Yeah.
things with light, etc. So you need to go to a teacher or you need to go to, for this you would, rather than going to institute, there are various teachers who are known for their craft and art. You could go, it is a bit expensive, but you could select what you want to learn and study and then practice. I
Yeah.
have trained with lots of teachers because this was a
Yeah.
passion I was following at one time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I've learned all types of crafts. Again, coming
Yeah.
to your point of cakes that look good but they don't taste good,
Yeah.
that
Look
is
good, they don't
true.
taste good. Yeah.
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 But when you're
Yeah.
going to a baker and if you're going to ask for a, usually what will happen, you will go to a specific baker all the time if you're happy with them and
Yeah.
you'll communicate with them and they'll deliver.
Yeah.
I first say we take great care to make sure our cakes inside are really nice and outside they look good. And in case something is not going to, if you do those structured things and very fancy designs, we
Yeah.
outright tell the client that listen, for this, we'll have to compromise on the taste value because the design
Correct.
will not hold. So we say that. So you need to know who you're going to go to reputed bakers. Go if you're ordering say a wedding cake or a big cake for a party, go try out their product, maybe order a
Yeah.
small portion, go to
Yeah.
someone who comes highly recommended. Most people do have a word of mouth recommendation and you
Correct.
come to know, you get the feedback on
Correct.
those bakers.
Correct.
You can go to them
So
or you
because
can go
because
to,
I've, yeah, because I've seen the other way also applies. That cakes that look really beautiful taste awful, but also a
yes.
lot of times people who make really really fab cakes don't necessarily get the decor and the icing right, because I
Yeah.
think then they're so focused on the
Yeah.
quality of the of the cake and the
That's also
flavors
a
of the cake.
downfall. I think you need
Yeah,
to make your
in
product
today's day.
look aesthetically simple, nice, which is
Aesthetics are
easily
important.
possible. It's
Yes,
possible.
yes,
You just need to learn that and upgrade yourself and do that, and it
absolutely.
is possible. Because,
Yeah,
like we're saying, baking is one particular style of this business, and cake decorating and cake artists are totally different. So, a
correct,
person who's a
correct,
baker may not be a cake artist or a cake designer.
correct,
So then you
correct,
can
correct,
hire someone also. You could hire
correct.
someone who works for you in that
That's a
particular.
good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And now coming to the whole business side and the profitability of this whole business. We all know that food has really large margins, and sometimes you always wonder how um, uh, people from home manage to sustain cost of deliveries, all of that. So what really, can you give us an idea? Obviously I'm not going to probe into what kind of profit margins you have or whatever, but to give an idea to people who really want to start this as a business, that what should be your profit margin, uh, and what on an average on a monthly basis can you possibly expect to make from from a cake business?
Sorry.
Take care.
So
Pani
I'm
phi
on
lo yaar.
mute. I know. So what I'd say is uh, the margins on the food and baking are a little higher. You can command. So first, get a little bit of a name and deliver quality, and then you can
Right.
definitely charge a bit more. You could
Yeah.
initially, I would say, usually if your product is for 200 rupees
Yeah.
overall cost, we would
Yeah.
calculate 200 rupees more as your added
So
profit.
100% profit, basically,
Yes,
huh?
yes,
Huh.
that would be the
Huh.
minimum.
That
And
would be the minimum. Okay.
yeah, that
Okay.
would be. Again, this is very much flexible. In case there's, if you feel you want to promote a product, you could keep it on a discount so that you can push it. You could do that. And when you're counting your pricing, you need to see the cost of ingredients, electricity, rental, or if you're
Yeah,
working from
salaries,
home, then
rentals,
it's not
everything,
applicable. Packaging
catering,
charges,
and yeah.
overheads, delivery, etc. Add all of that. You could count a little bit of depreciation also if you want, if you're using, but it's your home fridge and all.
Correct.
Initially, it's really not
Correct.
needed. Yeah. So
Correct.
that's the way to calculate it. And you could easily do a sale of around if you're marketing well and you're known, you could easily do a sale of 10,000, 20,000 easily
To start
in
with.
a month, yeah, to begin with,
Yeah.
absolutely. If you
You're talking
have
about profit margins, or you're talking about sales of 10,000
no,
and
I'm talking
20,000?
about sales. I'm talking
Sales.
about sales. If you're totally raw and you're just promoting it through your friend circle and people you know, uh,
Yeah.
bless you,
Sorry.
bless you.
Thank you.
And you could definitely aim for around 20,000 or so, 10,
Okay.
15 to 20,000.
Which
You
which for children in today's day and age is actually really amazing, because if kids are
yes,
sitting home and they're taking a beating on their education front
correct.
also right now, and if
Yes,
they're able to do this, I think it's really nice for the young kids, to be able to have this
yes,
option. And I know
yes,
that people are being really supportive about kids, and going out of their way to order. And I'm also seeing this trend during this whole lockdown, that people in general are being very supportive about these small businesses that people are start for other people who are starting from home, by just reaching out to them and ordering. So I think
yes.
that's very nice for children and for young people who are branching out in this. And then, of course, like you said, that it's a business that can escalate to anything, to large weddings, events,
Absolutely.
etc., etc.
Yes.
What about marketing, and what about your niche? Like, does social media is that good enough? What kind of marketing do you think you have adopted over the years? And what do you do to differentiate yourself from the 5,000 bakers that are around and are providing from home? And everyone's price points are so different, because some are as reasonable and as a 500 or whatever, and some are like exorbitant. So how does that pan out in terms of marketing and differentiating of your product, basically?
So marketing again, there are various avenues right now. First of all,
Yeah.
word of mouth in food is absolutely essential. Your product itself should speak and get you business. If your product is good and tomorrow you buy a cake from me, Aanchal, you like it, you're going to tell 10 people.
Well, yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you don't like it, you may tell 20 people. So that's
Correct.
worse. So word of
Correct.
mouth is really important. Try to
Correct.
offer something different or what the customer wants. That's also a
Correct.
good way to, connect. Since you're baking on order or custom baking, if we're talking of that, your connection with your client is very important. Your client is your
Right.
friend. I have won lifelong friends through my baking. There are
Yeah.
so many people I've got to know till
Yeah.
today. I've
Us
been making,
included. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been making
Yeah.
cakes from kids when they were born till they are like
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The mothers
It's
actually
amazing.
send pictures and tell me now this is the whole range of cakes you made over the
Yeah.
years, and my whole evolution can be seen in
Yes.
as a cake maker
Yeah.
and baker in those cakes.
It must be so gratifying, right? Like the whole
Yeah,
journey
it
must have
is.
been so
So
gratifying.
yeah, that's one reason I guess why I started baking as a more of a hobby at one time
Yeah.
and then moved on
Yeah.
to it as a profession. It was
Yeah.
absolutely gratifying and an immediate kick
I,
you would
I
get.
remember I remember our treadmill chats at Talwalkar's, you remember
Yes.
that way back
Yeah.
in all those years. And I was on this massive expansion mode at Arts in
Yeah.
Motion, and I remember having these discussions with you about our independent businesses and what direction we want to take
Yes.
it to. And I remember you telling me at that time that for me it's really hobby. I'm focused on the kids, and I just I'm just really doing it because I love it. And look what you've done with it over the years and all these years, slowly and steadily. So
Yes.
that's really, really commendable, and what a long journey it's been for you as well. So,
Absolutely.
which also goes to show that you can always take it at your pace, right? Because there's, of course, at your time there was no social media. There was only word of mouth. How important is social media, and how much do you think, let's say on an average, I know you've been very active on Instagram as well with your posts, and especially during this lockdown. How much do you think it really helps you in terms of getting orders, or in terms of, just nothing than just brand awareness or as a brand?
I think it works more as a brand awareness and a connection with people, but per se orders rolling in, that it's a journey. You need to climb to that level, and then we do get requests sometimes. Facebook people may not want to buy on the spur of moment, but they connect to a good picture, a good image, or a good video, and they may remember you and come to you at another point of time. So it's
Yeah.
not really on that particular point of sale kind of thing may not happen, but people do connect with you and everything is about
But does
social
it
media.
help in sales? Does it help in sales?
I think overall it does help over a long period of time to build you up as a brand and for you to express your creativity. That's the
Yeah.
fastest medium for me to show the world what I'm making. Today, if
Yeah.
I've started making a very fancy bread or some very elaborate cake, that's the best way. You could promote it on social media. It may not outright, like I said, get you business, but in the long
Mhm.
run, it does get you some kind of benefits. And
Right.
another thing is, Anchal, why is social media so important today? Because a new generation, like my sons, they are
Yeah, it's
17,
very active.
they connect only through those mediums. They
Me
don't
too.
understand. They've never seen the telephone box, dabba phone, which we have seen. They
True.
only know, they come to know what's the latest happening or what is the latest ice cream available with a brand through Instagram or through these other
Correct.
WhatsApp chats, etc. You could say. So
Yeah.
that's why you can't really ignore social media. Of course, it requires a lot of commitment, but you can just be alive in any one platform slowly and then move on to the others and not really go on to 4 5 like from Twitter, Pinterest. There's so many different
Yeah.
avenues for
Because
social
I know
media.
that every now and then, whenever sometimes you just take suggestions from friends, and you're like, I always get a screenshot of the Insta page, look at this. And that brings me to the next important subject, that in the business of food, blogging is very crucial, and apparently blogging these food bloggers can make or break your business. So, and I know you've run a very, very traditional business. in this entire phase. Are you also approached a lot by food bloggers and asked for a lot of free cakes, free food, etc.? Do you get a lot of reviews from them? Does that help you in your business, or have you steered away from that entire aspect? Because then once you get into that, actually the sky's the limit, right? Like,
Yes, but
how has that panned out?
yeah. That's true, but as a big brand, maybe a lot of bloggers command, some kind of fee or
Yeah,
return or reciprocation. If
yeah,
it works for you, very good. But no, I don't believe in that. I'm very happy with the kind of connection I have. I'm part of a lot of food groups, and I have my own pages. I promote on that.
okay,
If anybody approaches me because of their connection with me, like I'm part of the Food Bloggers Association of India, FBI, AI. In fact, I work as a FBI reporter myself and
okay,
do foodie posts for them on Instagram.
that's
That's
amazing.
because, again, it's another passion. I really enjoy doing it. So if because of that connection, I get visibility and I get approached, I do something. Rather
Yeah,
than that, I get approached by charities who
right,
want things. So I
right.
like to give my resources to
Yeah, that's
those
really kind of you.
places.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been supporting Make-A-Wish Foundation for nearly 20 years, and these are children
yeah,
who are terminally ill, and we do make cakes for their birthdays and
yeah,
their
yeah,
requests. So
yeah.
that's what I'd say. It's really an individual decision, Achal.
Because a
Um,
lot of people's businesses literally depend on the food bloggers and their promotions for their work, right? So in today's day and age, it's important, I'm guessing.
it is important if it works for you, well and good. It's helping you and getting you that benefit, and you're ready to pay them and or give them something in kind, then very well. Why
Yeah,
not? Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also another very important aspect, I think, of this is also the packaging, right? Like I know people go all out with their branding, packaging, whatever. But I've known you for so many years. We've been ordering with you for so many years, and I know that it's the simple, straightforward boxes that we've been receiving from you like 15 years ago and even today. And despite that, you have maintained the quality of your food. You maintained your sustained your business. So where is the balance between going all out in terms of branding, packaging, and just like really keeping it simple?
So,
How does it?
like you said, I have been a pioneer and I've been there since years. So I have
Yeah,
my own following and I have my database of clients. So when you're new, you're
yeah.
unknown. If you give something in a brown box or something, you may not get. But if you give it in a nice box, if you're starting out, you have an interesting menu, a colorful page, it will bring you. So you'll see a lot of the new people have these kind of logos and brands, menus, very, very lovely PDFs also.
Yeah, yeah, very beautiful
Yeah,
branding and marketing.
flyers,
People are going all
etc.
out
So
with the
they have
packaging
that.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Since I'm doing various other things other than my baking, I work as a culinary consultant. I'm writing a book. I work as a photographer, food photographer, and stylist. I'm doing
Wow.
various other things. I just keep my baking to whatever I enjoy, and I can happily serve my existing clients. So
Yeah.
packaging is very important, and today's day, if you get something very nicely packed in a, say, in a blue box or
Looking
a
good
lovely
factor.
gold ribbon, it is appealing. Of course, you have to pay a premium. So that's again a very nice way to present your product. It will get you an
Yeah.
easy connect, and will get you an maybe if someone comes to your house and sees a packaging, a box by Shilpa Bhamri written with a lovely
Yeah.
gold ribbon, they may ask you, what is this? Where is it
Yeah.
from? So it gets you
Yeah.
visibility. So packaging is a good idea, to invest in basic nice packaging, or maybe a label if
Yeah.
you don't really want to get individual packaging.
Yeah.
Get nice labels or stickers made, ribbons, get a carry bag made, and start out with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I think that for me, I've pretty much covered all aspects of what I wanted to. If there's anything you feel that I've left out, please feel free to share. And if anyone's tuned in and want to ask us any questions, please feel free. Also, our chat, as usual, will stay on our Insta page, so you can always come back, refer to it, send us your questions. We are always forwarding it to our guests and getting you your feedback back. So, am I missing out on anything, Shilpa? Is there any other advice you'd like to give to people who are starting out in terms of the baking business?
I'd like to say that just make sure it's something which is part of your passion and you really, really enjoy doing it. Just don't do it as a filler or temporary. Uh, People have various reasons for doing a business, but
Yeah,
the ones who can really carry it and as you grow, there are many pitfalls, challenges. You yourself are a businesswoman and a great
correct.
one at that. You know how it is. As you grow, there will be challenges. You'll have to, if you want to commercialize, you'll have to change your whole scale, and you'll have to probably change the kind of products you make. uh,
Yeah,
so you need to have a very, very strong commitment and passion, and please
yeah.
persevere. That's what I'll tell you. Just hang on and
Perseverance is the
be at
key.
it and upgrade. Upgrading is very important. Again,
Important.
what I was baking 20 years ago, I mean, need to not keep that unless it's one of those signature bakes which a lot of
So
bakers
brownies,
have.
man, 20 years ago, still fab, and today, 20 years down the line,
Yeah,
still the
yeah.
best.
So those are few items, yeah. But other than that, I need to add more. I need to upgrade. I need to know what's trending, and I need to upgrade. So I keep learning and educating myself. Even in today's times, I don't feel shy to learn from anyone. I
Correct.
absolutely enjoy learning at various institutes, classes, and that's one thing I would say. So let it be part of your passion, something you want to jump up in the morning and start doing. And
Yeah.
again, keep up upgrading yourself and pushing yourself, persevere. That's what I will say. This is my
Thank you so
tip.
much. Thank you, Shilpa. It's really nice to have you on this page. And if I have any questions, I'm definitely going to forward them to you if we have any from our viewers. And I'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot,
Love you.
Anjali.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. That scares me, by the way. Let me tell you
Oh,
that.
it's lovely. See?
It's lovely for you. It's scary for me. You know the trauma I've
No,
been through
no,
during
no,
your
no.
baking classes. You
It'll
know
help
that,
you
right?
make great brownies. It'll help you make great
Oh my
brownies.
God.
Don't imagine
Which
it to be
by the way,
anything else.
in this lockdown, I have been, imagine me, I actually looked up your recipe and made
And you
brownies,
made the
and
banana
then,
cake also.
and I
Great.
made the banana cake also. So you have to be really proud of me. Imagine, like, if I have gotten down to making the brownies. But thank you.
Absolutely. Bye.
Constantly
Bye.
inspiring. Thank
Bye.
you. See you soon. Bye-bye. Bye.